Hey there. How you doing? I'm Charlotte. I am talking to you from a warm room on a cold winter's day here in Takaka, Golden Bay, New Zealand. To those who are new here, welcome. I want to talk about context today when you're writing your memoir, life story, or family history. So ever since I was a journalist, part of my mission as a writer has been to take care of my readers so they can relax and enjoy the story. Another reason that I've always done that was to make sure people wanted to keep reading my stories. Because when readers feel confused or lost, they're likely to stop reading your story. And we want them to keep reading your story, and we want them to be really engaged in your story and enjoy it. So here are some tips. I've got 7 tips for you that you can choose from to take care of your future readers as you write. And they all revolve around context. So tip number 1 is, as you're writing, tell them when your story is happening. What year is it? What season is it? Tip number 2, you might show them what season it is by referring to the warmth of a fire or those lovely long swims you took at dusk. Tip number 3, mention what was happening out there in the world. For example, which political party or leader were governing when you were at that time of your life. Was there anything significant happening in your community or country at that time, socially, culturally, financially, environmentally? Tip number 4, who was alive in your family if you're doing your life story or memoir at that time, and where were they living? Tip number 5. So this brings me to the subject of whenever you mention anyone for the first time in your story, for the first time, begin by listing or writing their first and last name and saying who they were or who they are to you. From that point on afterwards, you can just refer to them maybe by their first name usually, because you wouldn't refer to them by their last name like they do in articles, because this is more your story. So probably you refer to them by their first name or by mum or, dad or, yeah. Tip number 6, you might say why you came to be living where you were living at the time. For example, it might have been so you could be closer to your family or closer to your work or school. And my final tip is you could mention your age at the time that you were in this stage of your life and what you were doing, what you were up to at that stage. So, as I said, it all comes back to making sure your readers know what's going on as they read. So you're doing the heavy lifting for them as a writer so they can relax and enjoy your story because it's easy for them to read it and they know what's going on. So above all, if you haven't started, just do one thing today, one small thing today to get started on your story. And the second thing is, if you are already writing your story, whatever that might be, keep writing. Do the world a favour, do future generations a favour, and just keep writing. And if you'd like to dive more deeply into how to write your life story, memoir, or family history, that's what I help people do. Check out my course, Write Your Memoir. Just Google Charlotte Squire, Write Your Memoir, or find a link in the notes. Now is a great time to join because I'm hosting a monthly online meeting for students where we can check in and connect, talk about goals and steps towards our goals and whether we've even managed to write anything, and basically support each other. And I'll always have a theme in our monthly meetings. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And I'm going to talk to you very, very soon. Have a great day. Bye.